Coming up on another solo show adventure.
Mary, what were your thoughts on Little Mermaid? First of all, what's their history with the Little Mermaid?
Wow, okay, we're jumping right in. So, I don't even know where I'm from yet, so...
She hasn't had enough coffee yet.
Stan, Kris, and Mary do their best Siskel, Ebert, and Shalit impressions as they do their review of the live-action The Little Mermaid currently in theaters. Is it 2 pins up or a bottom feeder? Stay tuned to find out. The solo show is brought to you, as always, by Victor Naraki Realtor, serving Disney and the greater Orlando area with celebratingflorida.com and disneyatyourdoorstep.com. Realtor Victor Naraki makes living near Walt Disney World a reality, specializing in all the communities surrounding Disney. Whether you're looking to relocate or invest in a new property, maybe you want a vacation home for your retirement. With over a decade of experience in the area, Victor will adapt to your needs, help you find the right property, or get you the best price for your property. Reach out to him today on his website, celebratingflorida.com, or at disneyatyourdoorstep.com. Follow him at Victor Naraki Realtor on Facebook, and don't forget to tell him that the Solo Show sent you. All right, now get ready, cause here we go. It's now time to do another big Solo Show film review. They're talking about Little Mermaid, this topic they got for you. Kris Banas and Mary Wells are the guests in the studio with our big Captain Stan Solo. Get ready, cause here we go. Talking movies. If you ain't seen it, we gonna mean it, and we charge you no fees. Listen for the spot from Sea Bay, that means the spoilers on their way. Now let's get ready, he is the steady Captain Stan Solo.
Hello, welcome to another edition of the Solo Show. I am Stan Solo, as always, and joining me today are two great friends of mine, the ladies from... Louise, I don't know. Kris is from the Grand Cycle Tour podcast. Mary, you're all over the place.
Yes, I'm all over the place.
Welcome to the show, and we're going to do the review of Little Mermaid. Mary, what were your thoughts on Little Mermaid? First of all, what's their history with the Little Mermaid?
Wow, okay, we're jumping right in. So, I don't even know where I'm from yet, so...
She hasn't had enough coffee yet.
yeah, apparently not. So, The Little Mermaid. So I've always loved the movie The Little Mermaid, and my daughter particularly loves the movie Little Mermaid. So that's I was excited to hear about this. So, and I was very happy to see it too. So it turned out good.
Hang on. Also joining us is Kris Banas from the Grand Cycle Tour podcast. Kris, what's your history with The Little Mermaid?
Well, I think almost anybody that knows me well knows that Ariel is my favorite princess. It's one of my top 5 favorite Disney movies of all time. And I was a little on the fence about this when the talk about this movie first came out. So I was like, am I going to go see it? Am I not? Well, after I started seeing the previews, either on TV or in the theater, I was more and more and more intrigued. And it looked stunning to me. And I go, you know what? I got to give this a chance. I'm not a fan of live action. Some of them I love, some of them I do not. But I'm telling you, this one, it was a pleasant surprise. So
there we'll go.
Start there.
So Little Mermaid kind of started the renaissance, like a new renaissance in 1989 of the Disney animated feature films. Like it was kind of like the first big one to come out. And then, of course, we got Beauty and the Beast, followed it, Lion King, Aladdin, and so on and so on. So when you look at the live action movies, Beauty and the Beast got a live action movie, Lion King got a live action movie, Aladdin got a live action movie. So it just made sense. The one that started it all should get a live action movie.
Yep.
But I don't think anybody asked for a Little Mermaid live action movie. I didn't ask for one. But a little bit about, so I'm not, like, princess movies, I'm not the target audience for princess movies generally. But we did have Ariel and Eric on the top of our wedding cake when Marcus and I got married. I don't think I've ever really talked too much about that on the Solo Show or any other podcast. But yeah, that was our wedding cake topper, was Ariel and Little Mermaid, or Ariel and Eric. And my mom actually did our wedding cake, and she was, are you sure that's what you want on the top of your cake? she's the one that made and decorated our wedding cake, and I'm like, yeah, that's what we want. And she said, okay. And we still have our wedding cake topper. They were just cheap $1.99 ones from a little store. Was what we went
All
with.
right.
Yeah. So we're going to do spoiler free for the first bit, and then we're going to take a fun ad break, and then we're going to go into spoilers. So the people that haven't watched this movie yet, don't worry, we'll let you know when you can stop and go see the movie, then come back and finish it. I do want to talk a little bit spoiler free-ish. We've seen the trailers and whatnot, the look of the movie. I went to the D23 Expo, and that was my first kind of introduction to the live action Little Mermaid. And they showed us the entire part of your world scene, and that sold it for us right then and there. Was the just beautiful, Kris?
It is visually stunning movie. The whole, even the land parts were amazing, but the undersea stuff in particular was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. How about you, Mary?
So they actually showed you the whole scene of that?
The entire
D22?
part of your
Wow.
world. Yeah, they showed us the entire song when she was doing the underwater chase. Okay. Yeah, with the hair flowing and the tail going and everything fully complete.
Okay, that's pretty cool. I didn't realize that. Yeah, I thought the undersea parts were really interesting, and they did a good job. I liked when they did Under the Sea, of course, because it had all the animals and all the fish that you saw in the original. Slightly different, but I thought they did a nice job with that.
Yeah.
I think you could almost take just about any scene from this movie, pause it, print it, and put it on your wall. Like it was that beautiful. I felt that the whole every frame was perfect. I felt.
Yep.
Anything else we want to go into spoiler free? I think we all agree that we enjoyed the movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much so.
So like I said, I'm not the target audience. I mean, I liked it, but I didn't love it. If I were to sit down and to rewatch the animated version or this version, I think I'd watch this one first. Once it comes out on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I went to see it the Thursday before it was actually released. So, I went at 3:00 in the afternoon, and I thought this is going to be kind of a telltale as to what is going to transpire with audiences, I think, for the whole duration. And there was quite a few people in there at 3:00 in the afternoon on a Thursday. There was some kids, but honestly, it was mostly adults that were in there, and there were men in there as well. I'm sure their wives dragged them to the theater, but people were clapping when it was over. So I think that first showing, I think, went over really well. So
yeah. See, I'm a grown man, and the guy I went with, he was a grown man. Like we were the two. I think we were probably the two only grown men there in the theater, just the two of us. Actually, it was kind of cool because a radio station, I guess, was promoting. It was a promo, and they were giving away tickets for the showing we went to. I mean, we had to buy our tickets; we didn't win them.
Yeah.
But they had a trivia contest before the show where some of the local DJs came out and they were asking trivia questions, and I actually won a little cooler bag. Oh, it wasn't a Little Mermaid one; it was with the radio station logo on it. But
hey, at least you won something.
I won something.
That's pretty
so
cool.
That was pretty fun. And actually, the weird thing, and the theater I go to, that you get when you buy a large popcorn, you get a free large popcorn refill. So what I do is I get a large popcorn for the movie, and then I get a refill to bring home. And that bag, a large popcorn fits perfectly inside that bag.
Oh.
So that's going to be I'm going to bring that to the theater and put my large popcorn in there, zip up the top, and that will be my travel bag.
There you go.
To come home with. That's my plans for the bag. Anyways, getting off topic.
And then I don't know if you guys saw or heard about the popcorn bucket that they were having at AMC.
Yeah.
Apparently it sold out. So they just put it on an online system to buy it, and so you go to buy it and you got in a queue. I felt like it was like Shop Disney or something.
Really. It was really, really cute though, and I was on the fence about buying it, but it's like $25. I don't know if I want to spend that right now, so I did.
$7.95 shipping too.
Yeah. Yeah, I should have bought it. Right?
That's comparable to Disney popcorn bucket price as well. I mean,
I guess it's sold out. So,
but it lights up, and it was really, really cute. So
okay, I haven't seen any pictures. I'll have to look it up after we're done recording. How about the listeners? The listeners get it? Let me know.
So I haven't got mine yet. I did order it. So.
Oh, you did order it? Okay. They didn't have it in the theater? They were sold out when you went to the...
Well, I didn't go to the theater that had it. Like, I could have, but I just... So that was... Since they had it online, I didn't have to go, because that theater's about half hour away.
Oh,
and I just went to one that's like right in my town.
All right.
But I heard it was sold out just about everywhere, so I just bought it online.
Okay, we're going to take a little break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about the music. We're going to talk about the acting, what else we got? Ariel's black in this one. Let's talk about that too.
And we've got some characters that were a little unexpected, the way that they looked.
Yeah. We'll talk about all that when we come back.
Look at this stuff. Isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think this collection's complete? Well, now that Ariel lives on the land, she had to leave all her junk treasures behind. Visit Seabay today to start bidding on her gadgets and gizmos aplenty. And if you want thingamabobs, she's got 20. Visit Seabay today to visit Ariel's Cavern of Treasures, now on sale at ocean bottom prices. Winning bidders will be responsible for all retrieval and shipping fees. It is under the sea after all. Sorry. Visit Seabay today.
All right, we're back. So, Mary, you ordered that popcorn bucket. You're going to go for a thingamabob or whatchamacallit?
Yeah, I got to stay off of Seabay.
I think I need a dingle hopper or something. I don't know.
It's good. She has 20 of them. You got to get a dingle hopper. Okay, so Halle Berry played Ariel, Joanne Hauser King played Eric, and Melissa McCarthy played Ursula, which are kind of like the three biggies in this movie. To me, I think Melissa McCarthy stole the show.
She was fabulous in this role. Yes.
Yeah, and I kind of going in, I was sort of expecting that to happen. What about you, Mary? What were your...
Yeah, I mean, I thought she would really get into it and enjoy the role. I think... some people, I was actually listening to a couple different reviews, and a couple people said they didn't like what she did. And I was just like, wow, I don't know. I thought she did a great job and she got into it. But, these were people that were nitpicking every little thing of the movie. So,
yeah,
but I expected her to do a good job with it just based on what I know about her.
Right. Me too.
Yeah. Jonah, who played Eric, there were times where I thought this guy's really, really believable as Prince Eric.
Yeah. I really liked him. I
guess
did too.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in the other things he's been in, because apparently he's from London. But I thought he did a good job, and I thought they did well together. The chemistry
Eric
was good.
and Haley and Jonah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I did want to talk a little bit about the love story between the two of them, because in the original one, it's hard not to compare it to the original one. I mean, we probably shouldn't, but you have to. The love story is very, very rushed in the original animated series. Whereas this one, they seem to focus more on it, which is something that I really appreciated.
Yeah, they stretched the development of the two of them together in this one more. So, yeah, I appreciated that as well.
Yeah, I think it just adds so much to the story because, I mean, it makes it more, I know it's a movie, but more realistic.
Right.
Because, most people don't decide they love somebody that quickly. I know there are some people that do, but not most people.
Yeah.
And it just gave you more insight into him, like, about him. Like, I don't think I knew anything about him from the original movie. I mean, just that he was Prince Eric. But, I mean, I felt like we learned a lot more about him in this movie.
Yep.
And I liked that.
Yeah, he was Prince Eric and he had a dog.
Yeah.
I don't think we even saw his mother, or did we see his mother in the animated series?
No.
Nope. It's a new character.
Yeah. It was funny. So the guy I went with, he never saw the original Little Mermaid at all.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. This was his first introduction to the Little Mermaid. He's like the same age as me too, which is kind of weird. So when they showed Eric's mom, he goes, "Is that the Queen of England? Is that supposed to be the Queen of England?" I go, "This is in the Caribbean. No, it's not the Queen of England." You see the palm trees?
That's funny.
This isn't England at all. It's not the only queen in the world, buddy.
Yeah, really.
So, anyways, the other thing too that I liked was that they built on Eric's character is that we were all familiar with how Ariel kind of had family issues or daddy issues. Her dad wouldn't let her do what she wanted to do. She felt restricted. Eric was in the same type of situation,
right?
Where he wanted to continue to go sailing, and his parents are telling him, "No, it's too dangerous. You have to stay home. You're the future king." And he's feeling more and more restricted, and it kind of connected the two of them before they met.
Yes.
I felt,
which I think added to the story.
Yeah, and kind of like we were talking about, like, giving more of a history of Eric.
Yes.
And
then he had a song too.
Yeah, Eric's song.
Yes. What was it? Wild Uncharted Waters.
I really, really like this song. I think it added a lot to the story itself, but also the words in the song gave you more of an insight into him and his frustrations as well, just like you were talking about before, Stan. So I think this song added a lot to the film. And I know that Mary and I and you were talking before we started that people are not liking that song, but we like it. So
yes. And to be fair, the people that I was reading didn't like it actually said they didn't like Evermore either in Beauty and the Beast. And I like that song too. So makes sense. But I always think about when I hear, a movie and there's someone has to sing and act, I always think, gosh, like, I don't know, how do they find somebody that can do both? Because not everybody can do both.
No.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, not in the case of Hallie, but in him, I don't know if he's ever sang anything before and anything else he's in, but sometimes they haven't even necessarily sang before in other movies.
Right.
It's always interesting to me that they have them sing, and then if they do pretty good, it's like, okay, that's impressive, because I couldn't do that.
So we're talking about people writing online about the things that they don't like, and I guess the number one thing that I saw, anyways, that most people don't like is the color of Ariel's skin. And I did want to touch on this. I mean, people, get over yourself, first of all, and second of all, this is supposed to be in the Caribbean. It just makes sense. It makes more sense in the story. And Halle Bailey is an amazing singer. When she sang "Part of Your World."
Oh. Well, I'm just going to touch on something about her singing ability. When she was the first actress to audition for this part, and everybody else, the directors and producers, they said everybody else that they heard paled in comparison. So that is why they chose her. They weren't paying attention to the color of her skin. And I didn't pay attention to it the entire movie because the entire movie was so good. So like you said, get over yourselves and, just deal with it. But I thought it was fabulous. And she sings like an angel.
Yes, exactly. And it seems like most of the people that are complaining are people that are white and my age. Or older, and you're not the target audience anyways. Don't worry about it. I mean, I went into that movie knowing I'm not the target audience, but I went in there knowing I'm probably going to do a review for the solo show, so that's why part of the reason why I went. I did like the original Little Mermaid, so it's just,
I guess, like, I go to like my local, it's not my local, it's like an hour away, a small theater. Well, I mean, I haven't lately, but I used to always, and I used to buy season tickets, and they would, announce their 6 shows, and then there'd be other shows. And I guess, I don't know how many years it's been, but, they kind of started casting people in other colors roles that were non-traditional. I don't know. So you just kind of get used to it. I mean, if you're into the story, it doesn't really
matter.
Right. I mean, you just,
the character is still the character, regardless of somebody's purple, It just,
and if they, if they're doing a good job acting, that's not what you're paying attention to anyway.
Right.
You're paying attention to the story.
Right.
Now, having said that, I did kind of wish they put a little bit more red highlights in her hair. Because to me, I don't know, Ariel's a redhead. I don't, you know what I mean? I didn't see she had to be, I don't want her to be like cartoon red.
Right.
And there were moments when you could kind of see the reddish highlights. But
depending on the lighting. Yeah.
So that would be the only thing I would have done differently myself.
And they could have gotten away with doing that as well. So, just really a couple shades into the reddish category would have made a difference.
Yeah. Because to me, that was the only gripe I had as far as what to look. I did like when they did show the close-ups of her, and you could see on her shoulder of her skin, it's very subtle, but there's like scales. on her skin, and it's kind of like a rainbow, like a rainbow fish reflection, which I thought that was really cool. I noticed those type of details. Her sisters, so she has 6 sisters. There's the 7 sisters all together,
right?
And all 7 are different ethnic backgrounds, which represents the 7 different seas, the 7 seas of the world. Which I thought was a really cool premise, a cool idea.
Because I was waiting for the all A's.
Yes.
Yeah.
When introducing Ariel with the concert and everything, and then I'm like, oh, they don't have the A names like Ariel does. So that was a little different, but I like that.
Yeah, that flew over my head. I have to admit, I didn't even catch that. I didn't pay attention too much to what their names were. I'm wondering did the names represented start with the same letter as the different seas of the 7 seas? I wonder. I don't know.
Yeah. I kind of missed the A names though. I was like, why aren't they the A names?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, that was something that I thought was kind of neat. So when Ariel, let's talk Ursula. Ursula and King Triton are brother and sister now.
What? Why do people not know that?
Was that always a thing, or did I just find out last week when I watched the movie?
I thought that was always a thing.
Yeah, I did too.
And I even asked Steve, because he, often watches Little Mermaid multiple times with Nevaeh. And I said, wasn't that in the original? And he thought maybe it was in the extras on the DVD. Like maybe it wasn't actually in the original.
Okay.
Because he's also seen there's 2 sequels to Little Mermaid,
right?
That are not widely watched, I would imagine.
Yeah, I did watch those though. After, because Stan and I were talking before you came in, Mary, that I watched. Went to the movie, and then the day after I watched the original that I hadn't seen it for a little while. And then, because I was watching on Disney Plus, I saw the other ones, the Little Mermaid 2, and then whatever the other one was called. I can't remember. I'm drawing a blank. But they covered a lot of that stuff in those movies that I didn't know originally. So, but the brother-sister thing, I had read that or something quite a while ago.
See, I had no idea. They're brother and sister now? When did this happen? Was my reaction, and it didn't make any difference to the movie. I thought it was going to be like they're going to hug and make up at the end, or they're going to be I don't know whatever happened between. I mean, yes, sure, siblings fight and they don't talk for a long time and they almost become enemies. But this was news to me. I don't know. The whole animation of Ursula though was bang on. Oh my gosh, that was beautiful.
It was fabulous.
Iridescent coloring in her tentacles and all that. So when Ariel gets captured and not captured, I mean rescued in the fishnet. In the fishnet, and that boat captain brings her on board, and she's in that net. The boat captain's voice, as soon as he started talking, I immediately thought, "Oh my gosh, they got the original Scuttle, or not Scuttle, Sebastian." Sebastian. I thought this was the actor that played Sebastian. After I did some reading, he died in 2021. Right. So yeah, But geez, did he ever sound like? Do you guys feel that way?
He did. He sounded a lot like him. Yes.
Yeah, he did sound. He sounded good.
Yeah, I'm wondering if
the songs. That's what I was worried about. The songs.
Yeah, no. I mean the boat captain. He the one that rescues, because he has a few lines about let's get some clothing on you, girl. And
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah. Like he was just the guy that was driving the boat that happened to catch her in the fishnet.
He had definitely the Jamaica accent going on.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if it was like his son that was playing that part or something. It just really, really sounded like him to me. What other new songs were there?
Well, there was one on the boat, I guess, too. Fathoms Below. I guess, didn't they? I felt like they sang part of that in the original.
They did, yeah. It's like they
expanded.
Changed it around a little bit and expanded it longer. So
yeah, and then
Scuttlebutt.
Scuttlebutt. We didn't need that song. I'm sorry.
It was a little off-putting, I think.
it was a catchy tune, but it just didn't fit in with anything else in the movie.
Mm-hmm. No, it was too, I don't know, just strange. Mm-hmm. It just didn't sit right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know what's going to happen when this comes out. That kids are going to start singing this song, like when it comes out on Disney Plus, all that. Parents are going to be hating the song, driving their kids to school, and the kids in the back seat yelling, screaming "scuttlebutt" all the way to school.
And they're going to be shaking their behinds and
watching it on Disney Plus over and over and over again. I could just picture it. Yeah, this was a bad move, Disney.
Rewinding, mommy. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, it didn't Lin-Manuel write this or help write that one.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
He tends to like putting in rap songs, it seems.
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly. Speaking about changing the lyrics a bit, you were talking about that in on the song that they sang on the boat. Poor Unfortunate Souls. They changed that one and Kissed a Girl. They kind of changed the lyrics a little bit on both of those. I noticed it more so in Poor Unfortunate Souls when they missed the whole part about when she was talking about her losing her voice and how she can compensate, mostly using body language. That part was cut out completely. And then everything that follows afterwards, where she basically, in the original Little Mermaid, she says, well, men don't like women who talk anyways. Mm-hmm. Like if you're quiet, you're more likely to get a guy. Is basically what she says in the original, which doesn't fly too well in 2023. So I guess they just took that whole part right out of the song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Makes sense.
It was okay though. I that part I didn't miss. As a matter of fact, I never liked that part to begin with.
Yeah. Like in the original, the lyrics go, "Come on, they're not all that impressed with conversation. True gentlemen avoid it when they can, but when they doubt and swoon and fawn on a lady who's withdrawn. It's she who holds her tongue that gets the man." Is how the original song goes. So that was completely taken out of the remake. Probably a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Probably.
Yeah. Another one that was taken out or was added, I guess. A lot of people, I guess it started about 8-9 years ago, where people were talking about Kissed a Girl, and Ariel never gave consent. Consent was kind of the. If you remember on social media, a lot of people were yapping about that, about he needs consent first and all this and that. Mm-hmm. So they added the line in Kissed a Girl where he says, "Use your words and ask her." It's one of the lines that Scuttle adds, or Scuttle, like you call him Scuttle, Sebastian adds. Yeah. "Use your words and ask her" is added to Kissed a Girl, which I guess that was put in to get people to shut up.
Yes. Right. Yeah, I'm positive that you are correct on that assumption.
I think that used to say like possible there's one way to ask her or something like that. And so
yeah.
But I mean, unless you're really listening for that, you don't notice all that.
Yeah.
At least I didn't.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, I did notice the part about Ursula just because, that's a pretty big part.
It is.
Well, I was kind of waiting for her to do that. And don't forget to use body language. I was kind of waiting for that part to happen. But they took that right out. So that's fine.
And then they changed Scuttle.
Yeah.
Yes. That was kind of, I don't know, that threw me a little bit. I mean, of course they have to make these characters into like real quote unquote animals, but Scuttle they actually changed. It was a seagull in the original movie, and it's I looked it up because I'm like, what is this bird?
This isn't the seagull?
No, what did they call it? I looked it up. No, I don't see where I wrote it. Something with a G. And apparently because the bird can go underwater, because I'm like, why is this bird underwater for so long?
Oh, okay. I was wondering.
What in the world?
I was wondering about that. Yeah, because that scene where he went underwater and talked for a bit, I don't know any seagulls that can go underneath the water that long.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a gannet.
Yeah,
G-A-N-N-E-T.
that's it. Yep.
Okay. So not only did Scuttle have a sex change, Scuttle also had a species change in this one.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
And I didn't even know there was a bird that went underwater that long.
Yeah.
And
the other major change that I did not care for was poor Flounder looks like he's anorexic. So
yeah.
And the color change was a little bit extreme. I mean, he looked like he was what's the other, not anorexic, but
emaciated.
Yeah. Well, kind of. Oh gosh.
Yeah, I kept on
Very
forgetting that
deficient.
Flounder was even Flounder in this movie. Like it's like every time he would pop up, I was like, oh yeah, who's this again? Oh right, that fish, that
Oh
yellow
yeah,
one. That
it's supposed to be Flounder.
yeah,
But yeah, and he also, I mean, I know I did see it was played by like a 16-year-old, the voice or whatever,
Mhm.
but I don't know. It just, I feel like Flounder is more of like a younger, even younger than that in the in the original.
Yeah.
And like cute. I mean, I get you're trying to make it real, but I don't know. The Flounder fell short for me.
Yeah,
Probably my least favorite part.
Right. I mean, I thought in the original that he was more like an 8 to 10ish, age group, where he was still really a kid. Where this one was more like a teenager, and it just didn't work for me.
yeah, and
It wasn't fun.
Well,
like Flounder's more fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Boring. I don't know.
Yeah, and it didn't have like the chubby cheeks and the round shape that we associate with Flounder with. Like one of the things that you always hear in animation is what makes a good animated character is you can recognize him just by the silhouette.
Yes.
You could, and you don't I mean, I guess this wasn't animation. I mean, it's computer generated animation, but you wouldn't recognize that as being Flounder from any other fish.
Right.
No.
So.
Right.
I mean, if they can change Sebastian that much, I mean, geez Louise, not Sebastian, the bird, Scuttle. If you could change Scuttle that much, why can't you change? Why would you change? Like, why couldn't you have changed Flounder or kept? I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
His color, I don't know. I mean, I get it. They can't, just like her hair, you can't make it bright red, but the color of Flounder was just lacking.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, the shape and the color both I felt was lacking. Sebastian, on the other hand, though, I thought they did a really good job animating.
Yeah, he looked great.
Yeah, I mean,
he looked good.
It's always a little bit off-putting seeing realistic-looking animals talking, but once you kind of get over that hump of it, like after you see them kind of the first time, it seems natural or normal almost. Like Lion King is a prime example of that.
Right.
When they first started talking, it seemed a little bit weird, but then by the time the end of the movie happens, it's cool. And I thought they did a great job with the little tail things of Sebastian when he swam, like the little back feet.
Oh, his little legs.
Yeah. Like he had the two little legs that would propel him, and then he would go faster, and it would make him go faster. I thought the animation on that was really neat because I had no idea how crabs swam before I saw this movie. I just thought they walked across the bottom of the floor of the ocean floor, but yeah, he had those little, they're almost like tail feet, I guess, with flippers on them that propelled them. I thought that was cool. What else did we have?
Well, I fault wise, I really can't come up with a whole lot except for what we just talked about. It just like we said, it was just visually pleasing, visually breathtaking in some points. And the storyline, even though they had some variations, it pretty much stuck to the original story, which I was really happy that they did. I didn't want to see them veer off into a completely different direction, which could have been very possible with this. And I was happy that they didn't.
Yeah, and at the same time, I'm glad they didn't do it shot for shot. If you're going to basically take the original movie and trace it, why even bother at that point?
Yep.
I mean, other than to bring it to a new audience, I guess. And that's kind of like what this does. In the theater beside me was like there was the two little girls and the mother. I don't know if the father was there or not. I think it was just the three of them. And they were very well behaved, I have to say. I didn't hear a peep out of them the entire movie. Actually, my buddy and I were talking more about the palm trees and the Queen of England than they ever talked. But I'm guessing they might not have ever seen the original Mermaid. Like they were that young. So this introduces them, and now maybe they'll go back and watch the original one.
Right.
I bet they saw it though, because I mean, most little girls.
Yeah, could be.
Sounds like they were better behaved than the adults in front of me that were using their cell phones during the movie.
Oh no!
I found really annoying.
Man.
Hate that. Ugh.
But so the King, well, not King, because his father, I guess they basically said was deceased, because we have to have the dead parent because it's Disney. But Eric's mother is a new character. Did you guys think
I liked her? I really did.
Okay. I mean, it was different to have her and her perspective and how, she wanted what she wanted him to do. And I thought it was a good counterpart to Triton because it was, lent a little bit more about Eric too.
And I really, really liked the Grimsby character. And instead of being like stuffy and, he was in certain parts, but the original character was very stuffy, a stuffy old guy the whole time. And this one with him, helping arrange the carriage thing for them to go off for the day and behind the Queen's back. I thought I really, really liked that part of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did like his character too. I wondered if the person who played him, which I forget his name already, would have been better as Triton though, because I didn't like Triton as much as I thought he lacked a little bit in a couple different spots.
Yeah, I kind of have to agree with you on that with Triton. The actor that played in the DC King, who's the Triton in DC comic movies. Anyways,
I can't think of him on top of my head.
He did a much, or even like one that played Thor's dad would have been a better Triton.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. I don't know. He didn't really come off as a very strong character.
Yeah.
I mean, he got a little better at the end, I guess, but in the beginning, I really just didn't like how he was.
And I like Javier Bardem as an actor. I just didn't think that he kind of fit this the way that he should have.
Yeah, the CG didn't do him any favors. The one I kind of missed too was the chef scene from the animated series, and they're him chopping up all this seafood, and Ariel just kind of sitting there gagging.
Yeah,
I was waiting for that to come up, and it's funny because here we are, we're complaining about we don't want it to be traced scene by scene the exact same movie, but then they missed something out from the original. Well, they should have had that in there.
Yeah.
Pickle bunch. But yeah, I was kind of waiting for the scene with the chef, and the only thing they kind of had was like those tiles on the wall with the fish hanging.
Yes.
Yes. Oh yes, I remember.
But other than that, there really wasn't much as far as like the beheading of fish and beheading of fish and all that.
Right.
And, from the chef or trying to cook Sebastian or anything like that.
Yeah.
which would have added probably a little bit of humor to the movie.
Well, like the scene at the table that when Sebastian was underneath the cloche and he crawled over to Ariel and Grimsby goes to stab the thing and there's nothing there. I mean, I think that would have been a really cute scene to make sure that was in there.
Yeah. So it's funny. I mean, like I said, we don't want it to be the exact same movie, but come on, put everything in that was in the original.
I mean, that's kind of a big, I don't know. That's kind of a big scene. But...
I mean, if you want to see it, go watch the original, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's always there for us to enjoy.
Yep.
Alrighty. Well, we're going to wrap this up. I want to thank you two for coming on.
You got to talk about the ending. Wait a minute.
Sorry.
Wait.
Okay, let's talk about the ending.
Let's talk about the ending. So, that was something that people complained about too. I noticed was the ending and how they changed a little bit of the ending.
I don't know. I liked it.
You liked the ending, okay? So, do you know what I'm talking about, Stan?
No.
Okay. So I guess they're saying that when Ursula at the end, when they got Ursula with the boat, that was Ariel in this one, and the old one was Prince Eric.
It was Eric, yeah.
So that people were like, well, how does she even know how to drive a boat? It made more sense, I guess, that it was him in the original is what folks were saying. And I mean, that wasn't a big deal to me. But
yeah, I liked it because I thought it was kind of, it was like Ariel's revenge against, what could have happened to her if, everything had transpired the way Ursula wanted it to. And this was her way of going, not so fast. I'm still in charge here.
Yeah, see, that totally flew over my head. I never even caught on to that.
Yeah, and I also liked the way that they left after they got married and they were going off to do their thing, that they went off in the rowboat out to the boat.
And you saw all the other mer people.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really liked that part.
Yeah.
Because we didn't see very many mermen until the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which was interesting to me.
Yeah.
And then we also have to talk about her clothes. We got to talk about the clothes. So that's the other thing people were complaining about, the dress. Like that she only wore that one dress the whole time as a human. Like, couldn't we have given her another dress? I kind of agree with that when I thought about it.
That was like, okay, well, here she's in this, and now she's putting it back on again the next day. I mean, this is, royalty she's living with. I think they could have afforded to buy her another dress.
Another dress. Right. Because they made the scene was a pretty, they were dressing her.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of a detail that was in there. And then she had that same dress the whole time. Because didn't she have like a pink dress at some point in the original? Because I know there's different versions of the Ariel doll that Nevaeh has that have a pink dress and the wedding dress and this dress.
Yep.
So I didn't really think about it watching the movie, of course, because it's just you're watching it. But I noticed that dress and I thought, oh, okay. So I thought they could have put her in another dress at some point.
Yeah.
Well, there's two sides of that for Disney. There's the one side is like, well, now it's a lot easier for us to have a walk-around character at Disney World because we only have to get one dress. And we don't have to worry about having two dresses for the walk-around character to be seen in.
I thought Chapek was out and we're not like...
Well, then there's the flip side where, we could sell a lot more toys if we could sell twice as many Ariel with dresses on them. We could have one in pink, we could have one in blue, we could have one in white, we could have 3 dolls instead of the 1 doll, just the blue. So
or accessories,
Yeah.
Sell accessory packs.
Yes. Then we need one with the tail, and then we need one with the
right. I don't know. I would have liked to seen another dress just because they are royalty.
Well, didn't she have a pink dress at the end though?
No.
I mean, she had a different dress at the very end, but just it was a couple days. They went on the carriage thing, and they went.
Well, it was 3 days because she had 3 days.
Right,
just a girl.
Right.
But that last day, especially, she got up and put that dress on again. I'm thinking there has to be another dress somewhere, like when they're singing to get up, and when they were doing.
She's a fish. What does she know? As far as she knows, they all wear. Eric wore the same thing every day, those same high boots and the and the white shirt.
I guess they just don't believe in changing clothes there in the Caribbean. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it's a Caribbean thing.
Yeah.
And then, did you like that little thing they added with the glass mermaid?
Yes.
I did.
That
was cute. That was kind of cute.
Now that's going to be something that's going to be on the market soon. Right?
Glass
As a Disney souvenir? Come on.
They got to be selling them at the Epcot Mexican store by now. The glass store in Mexico at Epcot. They got to be. Somebody go there and check for me. If they have those glass mermaids yet.
It's coming. I can just see it. And every little girl that goes to Disney World is going to want one of those. So
I want one of those.
I wouldn't mind having one. I thought it was really cute.
Yeah,
I thought it was a neat little addition to the movie.
Yeah, maybe Ariel will be selling it on eBay.
There you go.
Yes. There you go.
Alrighty, guys. Thanks for coming down. This was a lot of fun. Interrupting your Sunday morning to reminisce about a movie we saw a week ago.
But it was a good movie. I actually think I'd like to watch it again and look for a couple different things this time.
Yep.
Yeah. I think it is one of those type of movies where you're going to see a lot of different things in the backgrounds that you you can't and didn't catch in the theater.
Yep.
And it did well at the box office too. So
that's why they keep making these live action movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's next? What's the next one, do you think?
Oh, goodness.
Did I hear they're making Robin Hood with the foxes into live action?
I've heard that.
Yeah.
I don't know how true that is, but I guess only time will tell.
That would be the
we
next
know
one.
we have Moana coming, right? So, but I don't know.
Rapunzel next. They got to do that one.
That would probably be really good.
Yeah, that's why they keep making them.
You never know.
Yep.
Alrighty, we're going to head out. I want to thank you guys for coming out. People, what do you think is going to be the next live action movie that hasn't been announced yet? Let us know in the comments or message me if you want to come on the show and you have a topic. We can talk a little bit of whatever you want to talk about. Have a great day, everybody. Ken, Take it away.
If you have a brilliant idea for a future edition of The Solo Show and would like to take your turn in the guest host's chair, then drop us an email at thesoloshow01@gmail.com. Tell us your idea for the show, and we'll contact you about a date and a time for you to join us. If you would just like to keep the conversation going or have a comment about a previous show, then visit us on Facebook at The Solo Show. All logos, sounds, and songs that are made by and for Disney and its affiliates are owned solely by the Disney Corporation and are not, nor are they intended to be, the ownership of The Solo Show podcast. We hope you'll join us for the next adventure on The Solo Show. Thanks for listening, and bye for now.